Well, hello and good evening, and a very warm welcome to a special program called Cricket Predicta on NewsX, powered by OneXBet. In yesterday's IPL action, Kolkata Knight Riders narrowly clinched victory over Royal Challengers Bengaluru by the barest of the margins is the best way to describe it. Run in a nail-biting encounter at Kolkata's batting first after losing the toss, posted a formidable total of 222 for 6 in their allotted 20 overs. In response, Bangalore fell agonizingly short, being bowled out for 221 runs in a tense finish. Meanwhile, Gujarat Titans secured their fourth win of the season by defeating Punjab Kings by 3 wickets. Punjab, batting first after winning the toss, managed to score 142 runs before being dismissed in their 20 allotted overs, chased down by the target of 143 runs for 7 wickets in hand. Sai Kishore's exceptional bowling performance earning him the Player of the Match award. Well, joining us in today's spotlight shifts to the clash between Rajasthan Royals and Mumbai Indians set to take off place in the Mansingh Cricket Stadium. Rajasthan leads, Mumbai is squandering, but at the same time, again, two of the blockbuster team playing, and we have a blockbuster entry of the coach, Rajkumar Sharma, Virat Kohli's coach. We have Atul Wasan, the former Indian fast bowler. We also have Sadanand Vishwanath, the man with golden gloves, also David Brooks, and also we have the royalty from the bowling royalty who joins us from Antigua, Mr. Andy Roberts. It's a global exclusive for our fans. Rajkumar Sharma, sir, before we get on to Andy Roberts, what's your pick for the day? And do you want to sum up yesterday's match very quickly?
Well, for today, Sunil, it's going to be a very nail-biting match, I believe, because Mumbai is really playing well. After their first 3 matches, they lost badly,
yes,
but they have really regrouped now and they're looking better team. And Rajasthan, they are on the top of the table. They are playing really well, and the way they won the last game, that was really remarkable with Butler winning the match for them. And they have a very formidable batting as well as bowling. So I think it is going to be a very keenly contested match.
Absolutely, keenly contested match. Before we go on to our other guest, I know you are in the middle of your coaching session. Very quick question. Were you angry or were you upset about yesterday's decision of Virat Kohli getting out?
Definitely. I think he was not out. The ball was clearly above the waist height. And if you look at that particular ball,
right,
he was on his toes. So that means he was above 6 inches above the ground level. And that ball was, when he faced that ball, it was above the waist height. I don't know how the umpire gave him out.
Well, we have an umpire in our team right now. Sadanand Vishwanath, would you have given him out yesterday?
You see, these guys, good evening, Sunil, good evening, Raj, good evening, David, good evening,
Good evening, Vishwanath.
and my great friend, Andy Roberts, who is the first anti-England cricketer to play for West Indies. But more of that later when Andy sir comes onto the scene. See, the Hawkeye technology, it comes into focus when Kohli was dismissed, caught and bowled by Harshit Rana for 18 runs of just 7 balls.
Right.
It was actually a slower ball. And although Kohli was outside the crease, what does the law say? The law says batsmen standing upright at the crease. And before the match, before the tournament starts, all these batters were measured from the surface to the waist. And in that measurement, Kohli's height was taken as 1.04 meters. And when Michael Goff, the third umpire, took the technology and took Hawkeye into consideration, that particular, 1 second, Rajkumar, the measurement then was 0.92. So that's why he gave Kohli out. So it's all fair, actually. He had to be standing upright in the crease. Kohli had advanced down the wicket, Raj.
Okay, one an umpire, the other is Kohli's defense. Go on.
Yeah, Sunil, I just want to say one thing.
Yes,
had it been given by the third umpire, I would have agreed that he has all these rules and everything. But he was given out by the on-field umpire. That time they could make out the height. That was surprising for me. He was given by
the decision. The decision was referred to the third umpire.
It was not referred. It was asked by Virat Kohli that I'm not out. Then only it was referred. Umpires gave him out straight away. That is the biggest question. How could they make out the height of the ball? My question is this: how come
He
the
walks away.
on-field umpire gave him out? Then only he referred it to the he took the review.
Well,
Same
we'll
kind
get
of
an
decision.
independent voice in
Well,
Atul Vasan. Atul, jump in and just talk about yesterday's discussion before we go on to a bigger.
No, I don't want to burden the debate because these two guys who actually know much more about this genre than me, and then we should not. It's just one dismissal, and as they say in a long career, sometimes before even DRS, it all evens out. Sometimes you're out and you're not given out. So let's leave it at that. And just because Virat Kohli is a big player, and anyway, RCB was going to lose anyway, and they're at the bottom of the table. So why waste our channel's bandwidth?
Anyways, David Brooks, do you think the bowlers are less complaining as compared to the batters in today's modern time? Go on.
Well, I think Virat Kohli did have something to complain about there. But the encouraging thing for RCB is they got within one run without a major contribution from Virat. So that's a step forward, isn't it? Because they've been so reliant on him. At least they got so close to putting off a victory without a significant contribution from Virat Kohli. So that's a step forward for RCB.
Well, we are privileged to be joined by Andy Roberts right now. Mr. Andy Roberts, welcome to the show in India. We just want to take you through our discussion forward. And my first question to you is it safe to see that the batsmen are no longer fearful of the pace bowling attack that we used to in the 70s and the 80s at your era? Welcome to the show, sir.
Good night or whatever it is. I must say that cricket has always been a tailor-made for batting. All the rule changes that they make suits batsmen. And I think this one, why there's so much runs scoring in T20 cricket, is because the batsman knows exactly where the bowler is going to pitch the ball. Because 1 inch down the leg side, it's a wide. So that's a no-no. 1 inch above the head, it's a no ball. That's a no-no. So batsmen are tailor-made. What batsmen do these days, they go into the gym or in the nets and get the bowling machine that will pitch the ball wherever they want it to go. Hence, the batsmen play all the shots all day, so you know exactly where you can bowl and know what shot to play.
Very interestingly, he pointed out Andy Roberts, one of the greatest fast bowlers. We'll come back to our second question. Mr. Roberts, is it the size of the bat or introduction of the bowling machine the real culprit? Because we've seemed to be getting this problem consistently. Look, the stats tell us that in the last 11 years, only 3 times the batting team could score 250 runs and upwards. But in today's context, in this IPL, they scored more than 4 times. Now, this is a problem. But what do you think? Is it the bat or the bowling machine? Go on, sir.
But the bat will only come into question if you can play the shot. And if you know where the ball is being bowled, so you practice the shot all day, whether it's on the offside or on the onside. Because you can't go outside of the limit that you can bowl.
Well, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to ask you a question which I often ask Atul Vasan to his great dissatisfaction. What if you were bowling in today's game? What do you think would have been the trajectory? Where would you bowl? How would you control the batsmen and keep them quiet, sufficiently fearful at the same time? Your view, sir.
It's difficult, because once you know where the ball is heading, you prepare for that shot. If there's an uncertainty where you could bowl 2 bouncers or you could bowl a ball 6 inches down the left side, you can't set yourself for that. But if you know which ball is pitching, because remember, you have less than 2 feet in which to make an error, because you have 12 inches or so outside the off stump, and where you stand, that's a foot. So what are you going to do? You can't bowl down the onside. I think they need to make the rules a bit fairer Plus, you have 25-yard boundaries because they bring the boundaries in. So everything is tailor-made for batting.
Well, it's tailor-made for batting. Before we let you go, Mr. Andy Roberts, one last quick question, and then we'll throw the house open for discussion with our in-house studio guests and the guests who are there. Sir, do you think ICC should step in to give it some leverage to the bowlers at this stage, considering that the runs that are being scored are absolutely mayhem for the bowlers? Your views, sir?
That should be it, because it is not a batsman game. It's a battle between bat and ball. But at the moment, it's just a battle between batting. But bowlers have no answer to what is being, doctored today.
So
I really can't say. If I was playing today, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. Because as much as you practice, as long as the batsman knows where it's going to go, ICC need to step in and make a few changes to the rules so that there's a little bit of fairness between bat and ball. The only time that ICC will ever step in is if the crowds start to get as though that you just come here to see one man stand up and hit the ball. You might as well just get a bowling machine and bowl.
Sadaland Vishwanath, thank you. That was Andy Roberts talking as blunt as he would bowl. Mr. Sadaland Vishwanath, you had a point to make. Should ICC step in and make it an even thing for the batters and the bowlers completely? Your views?
Well, like Andy Roberts rightly says, that it might happen if the turnstiles and the spectators, stop diminish and the spectators stop coming. But they won't stop coming because it's entertainment. It's pure entertainment. Even the RCB team loses, or the Chennai team loses, or the Mumbai Indians lose, you will still have a jam-packed house. It's the modern-day cricket. Andy Roberts was the first Antiguan to play Test cricket for West Indies, leading the way to many of the famous countrymen like Sir Viv Richards, Richie Richardson, Curtly Ambrose.
Right.
Very
quickly, Sadaran, do you think the changes should be made?
The changes will be made at the appropriate time, if needed, if required.
All right.
They'll look into it.
All right, if required. Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, the big man was here, one of the greatest fast bowlers world has ever seen. Would you agree to some of his things, and especially his helplessness, saying, I don't know what I would do when I would bowl in today's context? Your views, sir, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma.
Yeah, it's really difficult for the bowlers, to bowl with the kind of wickets being provided, the type of ball which is used. Kookaburra, white ball, travels like anything, and wickets are so flat, bats are so good, boundaries are short. So it is very difficult, and there has to be some system, like there should be some allowance for the bowlers also. Like he rightly said that 1 inch above, down the leg side, it is wide. 1 inch above the head, it is a wide.
No ball.
So, no ball. I mean, these things have to change. Something has to go towards the bowler also. They can right-hander batsman can always
Atul Vasan.
switch it.
Atul Vasan, a good batsman gets to play 10 overs, 15 overs, 20 overs. But a good bowler, exceptional bowler like Bumrah, only gets 4 overs / 24 deliveries. Do you think they should also get an allowance, like Sir said, that they should go in for 6 bowlers, 6 overs or 10 overs, especially the big overs? Otherwise, the discussion and debate will continue, and especially at a time. Yes.
I think, we are comparing apple and oranges. First of all, this T20 format should not be confused with all the 3 formats. So what we are doing is we are overlapping. And I think no need to just extend the bowlers overs and all, because that is the mix. Because as it is, there are too many changes every time we come around, and this impact player and the 2 bouncers. So I think just leave it and don't tweak it too much, but keep, like Andy said, keep the balance. Even in T20 format, the bowlers should be relevant, and it looks really sad that maybe in the future you can replace them with bowling machines.
Earlier in the day, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma said that the bowlers are not skilled. The skill of the bowlers is coming down. The spinners are not spinning. In fact, the spinners are bowling bouncers in one of the instances. And fast bowlers are just going out and bowling, pitching up the ball and hoping for fait accompli. Your views?
Yeah, because the faster you bowl, the faster bouncers will go for a six. That's why the slow bouncer is a variation. So the bowlers are trying to do their best to, just change it up a bit. But I think just the leverage in T20 cricket, unorthodox bowlers should be discovered. And, probably the degree of the arm in T20 format, if it can be given a bit more leniency for the bowlers, then we might see an even contest. And some specialist bowlers might come in who might not graduate or be eligible to play, one day and test cricket, but they should be allowed in T20 so that parity is there.
Well, no, but Atul, I just want to add one thing. Bowlers like Manoj Prabhakar, bowler like you who used to swing the ball, like Praveen Kumar, they can be, really bowl well in this format. Atul, if somebody has got good swing in, who can swing the ball, I think he can make the life difficult for the batsman.
Atul, one point also. Come to the defense of the bowlers. If you have a skilled bowler like Bumrah, he doesn't go for runs. He's below the par score. Don't you think so? You need more of Bumrahs and more of Chahals to throw the ball up.
No, not the kind of bowlers who throw the ball up, but I think we should not, look at the world with rose-tinted glasses, because even everybody can get hit. The top bowlers in the world are getting hit. So the point is that, just swing will not actually help you. It has to be just, and Bumrah is an exception. We should not actually just focus on exceptions. But the generic rule is that we have to see that what bowlers can do a bit more in that, in that bracket of laws and the level.
I want to extend the conversation on to Sadaran Vishwanath and take him to 1985. It was 85, the champion of champion. You had Raju Kulkarni bowling up the order. You had Roger Binney as well, Kapil Dev with his swings, and you had Lakshman Sivaramakrishna. So you had spin, tenacity, skill, pace, and at the same time, great movement up in the air. Do you miss those days on television right now?
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure the whole world misses those days with a team packed with all-rounders. Madan Lal too was there.
Yes.
You see, in those days, it was a combination. The medium pacers used to always strike. They used to penetrate with the new ball. And there was one white ball on either side of the wicket. So 25 overs with one side of the new ball, and the other side was also, there were two new balls used. The ball was tiny, the ball was hard, but we had a great combination of pace and spin, excellently marshaled by Sunil Gavaskar. It was a great all-round performance in 83 and 85. We had a team of fantastic all-rounders. I'm sure the audience still always remembers those memorable days.
Well, David Brooks, just walk in here. Do you think the game is getting shorter? I mean, if you have the purists of the game, you enjoy your Sunday games. When you take a step back, do you think that it's a foregone conclusion that brands like T10 and 100 would come and destroy the game?
Well, it's certainly less of a subtle game, isn't it? There's certain things are being taken out of the game. As Atul said, we're only talking about T20 here. Kookaburra balls, pitches prepared for the batters. I mean, these are two things that can influence. We just had 2 rounds of county cricket in the UK used with a Kookaburra ball for the first time, and we've seen huge scores, double centuries and centuries from people who really shouldn't be scoring them. Because I think the Duke's ball, a ball that swings, pitches that offer something to the bowler would help to offset. The impact players had a big change. I think greater change than people thought. The idea that you can come on, score some runs, and then go and sit in the dugout for the rest of the game. I mean, people haven't really thought this through. So I think the impact rule does need to be looked at again, for sure.
Absolutely. Atul, you once famously said that the conditions out there and in India is completely different. Just to help understand our fans very quickly about the English condition ball and bowling the same ball here.
Well, the balls are also different. In England, I remember it used to be Reader and Kookaburra and Dukes, actually. But Australia is Kookaburra. But Indian conditions need a ball which can remain harder for longer because of the, abrasive fields. But the conditions of the moisture and the wind and, overcast conditions, that makes the ball swing. But the point is that how many bowlers are just trying to bowl swing, because they realize that just swing without variation is not going to get them franchisee contract. So even the bowler who's got the skill is eventually looking at his career and making money, and he also just switches over to that, variations of surviving and playing T20 cricket rather than playing Test cricket. But Test cricket is difficult. So I think this is a generic understanding which we must pass on to the viewers that we should not compare all the format of cricket together in one show. If you stick to T20, then swing is not going to, just be enough, even in England.
Absolutely. We stick to this. On the closing remarks, I'm going to ask Atul. We'll start with Atul and then move on to all our three panelists. Atul, do you agree with Andy Roberts' statement that ICC should step in and at least give a little bit of leeway for our viewers? Your views.
For which format? Again, I will say T20 or no?
T20.
T20, I don't. Yeah, I think with this impact player, they have evened it out with 2 bouncers, but that's not enough. I think more should be done, and I agree with him. And but the point is that if we just give the bowlers too much and the games become low scoring, then the crowd will be disappointed. That is the problem, and they are the ones who are funding the whole show.
Absolutely. Sadanand Vishwanath, what is the middle path between the fans, the purists, the players, the bowlers and the batters? Your views?
Well, like Atul says, if it ain't broken, why fix it? It all depends on which kind of format are you trying to meddle up with. And T20 has come to stay. It spread its tentacles globally. The entire world has now come to love it. And I think T20 is here for a long time, and we should not meddle too much with it, because although we have stepped in with the impact player, we have stepped in with the time penalty, there are so many changes that have been made subtly. And, I think in the years to come, there may be a little more changes which will give some benefit and leeway to the bowlers.
Well, David Brooks, your closing remarks, and as a punter, who are you going to punt on today as a successful punter?
I think something does need to be done. Even bowlers like Mitchell start being pumped all over the ground. So I think your suggestion, Sunil, of the extra over or two for one bowler would be a good perhaps rule change that could be introduced for the T20 format. In case, with both Atul and Andy Roberts saying a bowling machine could replace bowlers, I mean, something's wrong there, isn't it? Bowling's a great art form. As far as today is concerned, Rajasthan Royals, looking very good, top order firing, and decent bowling attack as well. I'd take them to win over the Mumbai Indians, who, aside from Bumrah being quite expensive with the ball, Bumrah going for less than 6, the rest of the bowlers going for over 10 and 0.
Sadanand Vishwanath, closing remarks.
Well, David has always been spot on. But today I'm going to go against him because the resurgent Mumbai Indians, they are eyeing a high voltage revenge match against the rampaging Rajasthan Royals. And they won the last 3 games, Mumbai Indians, out of 4. And of course, they have to address their bowling problems. But I'm sure that Jasprit Bumrah will lead the way, along with Jaran Kohli. And I would give Mumbai Indians an outside chance.
Not worried about the captaincy?
Pardon?
I said I was worried about the captaincy. I saw 4 or 5 captains on the field.
I think they're showing a lot of team spirit. They are showing a lot of team spirit. Hardik Pandya might actually do very, very well.
Well, this is a fan show, and our panelists get on this show to ask each other a question and take a little banter with a pinch of salt. But that's all we had time for.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.